The biggest one here in Gauteng is the one happening at Cosatu House. Let's cross now to contributing editor Vuyo Mvoko, who's outside Cosatu House where this meeting is taking place. Let's find out what's been happening through the day. Vuyo, thank you very much for joining us. And I wonder, what can you tell us about what's been happening throughout the course of the day? I believe it took quite a while just to decide on what to talk about.
Yes, you're right, Peter. I mean, almost 6 hours of deciding who should stay inside that meeting and who should leave, credentials, they call them, but also deciding on the agenda, adopting the agenda, that is. But 6 hours later, they did manage about an hour ago or so to get it all started. We are told that Evan Jim, the General Secretary of NUMSA, did begin his presentation in earnest about an hour ago or so. And the thrust of his presentation is to say that whereas many people are accusing NUMSA of really defying Cosatu's own constitution, Cosatu's own principles, Cosatu's own resolutions, it is in fact the Cosatu leadership that is accusing NUMSA of betraying its own values that should take a hard and deep look at itself. From when NUMSA sits, certainly from Evan Jim's presentation, it is in fact the Cosatu executive that has gone against its own constitution by refusing to hold a special Congress that has been demanded. In terms of the Cosatu constitution, you need a third of the affiliate unions to demand a special Congress, and that hasn't happened. And from his presentation, he is arguing that the reason the Cosatu leadership is hell-bent on preventing them from preventing that special Congress from happening, it is because they know very well that if they were to hold that Congress, the issues that they are raising today would not even arise, because the general membership of Cosatu would in fact vote the current leadership out and install a new leadership.
Okay.
Peter?
Well, without that special conference, is it a foregone conclusion then that NUMSA will be expelled from the Federation today?
In terms of the mood that we saw here earlier today, in terms of comments that have been made by leaders of both camps or factions, whatever you call them, it certainly looked like it is indeed going to be so. I did ask the NUMSA president earlier, then why bother? I mean, if you know that it is a foregone conclusion. And it feels that they feel that they reserve the right to actually make their position known. They reserve the right to actually honor these processes, even if it's to prove to the Cosatu leadership, but also more specifically general membership, that they are not the ones at fault. But he did, or in fact the entire NUMSA leadership did say at various points over the past few hours that whatever happens, even if they do get expelled as they think is going to be the case, they still going to go to court. In other words, we are not going to see the end of this saga. They are going to court and they will explore whatever other avenue that they have, that they may have. Peter?
All right, Vuyo, and that's where we're going to have to leave it, but that's a story that we'll be tracking for you certainly throughout the course of this evening. Now,